Okay, hi guys. We are second day of Essen Spiel. We are here with David Turczy. We will talk about his career in the solo mode and as a designer. So a lot of questions, not enough time, but let's hope that we can gather some interesting facts. Hi, David.
Hi.
How did David Turczy become the ultimate king of solo mode and automa?
That's a big mystery to me as well. In 2018, when I went full-time, I called my friendly publishers saying, hey guys, I need a little bit of monthly income so that I'm not counting money until the end of the year the royalties come. They're like, all right, what can you do for us to give you money for? And since Anachrony's solo mode was popular and we were just working on Petrichor, I was like, I could look at other people's games and make solo mode. I don't know, how hard could it possibly be? And then the very first other people's games I made a solo mode for was Teotihuacan, which skyrocketed into the top 100, being the best advertisement I could ever need. So the next year, 6 or 7 publishers called me. The next year, another 15 games fell into my lap, and then it took off. I would have definitely gone mad on that if not for the luck of, good people self-selecting. Basically, anyone volunteering to playtest and standing out for being proactive, for not just saying I like it, I don't like it, but saying I don't like it, and if you change that to that, it would be better, and I can easily beat the bot because the bot doesn't compete me with there and there. Were invited back to the next time, and if they came back the next time, then eventually they were taken over to the other side, and now I have 4 or 5 people. Well, not employees of mine, but essentially subcontractors of mine. Okay. And a publisher comes to me with the project, I look at it, I have a rough idea of what makes this game uniquely hard or interesting to make a solo mode for. I write some notes, I pick one of the guys based on which of their experience is most fitting to this, and I split the money and the credit with them. Which is how, for example, right now the entire team is working on the Puerto Rico Special Edition right now.
Oh.
It's credited to the 5 of us. I worked absolutely the least out of the 5 of us. So yes, it's nice to have my name on 50 plus games with solo modes, but I never fail to mention that I don't think I've even played like 30 of those 50 games. So
okay, that's interesting.
I did the theory. Like I'm the architect. I'm not the building site engineer. I'm the guy behind the paper back home. So and as the more and more beautiful skyscrapers we build, the less and less things I have to draw.
That's usually how, when you move along with the business and everyone, you have a team of people working. Exactly. For you. Okay, so basically you are part of the creative process, not just like you are getting the finished copy, not saying copy, but the finished project that, okay, here it is, and now try to make a solo mode. You are actually participating in the creation or forging of the game itself, right?
That depends on the publisher, because my goal with the solo mode is, lots of people look at the solo mode as a way to practice the game. I look at the solo mode as a way to enjoy the game equally, which means that I need to know how good is the game, not in quality, but like what's good about it, and how do I feel when I play 2-player, how do I feel when I play 3-player. Certain games just have extra interactions that are lost when you go down to 2-player. Could that be fixed by a simpler, quicker bot, etc.? And therefore I can only do a solo mode once the game is finished. Okay. So, questions like, was this solo mode edited after the fact or not? No, I don't even, not even for my own games. I don't even start designing the solo mode until the game is completely finished. So what I do is that for a few publishers, Mindclash, Board and Dice, where I'm also part of their development team, I also look at some, not all of the other games, not just mine, that they are working on, and I do offer development advice beyond the solo mode. I play it, I say I like this, I don't like this, that's too easy, that's not interesting enough, this is how I would do it. But there I'm just one voice of the many, and I'm a voice who played the game 3 times while other people on the team played it 60 times. So there I come in and be a different perspective, that I'm not the expert. So, it's the various point of views I can provide. Yeah. Obviously, when it comes to my own games, then for a while I need to wear the designer hat and what can I come up with, and then I need to wear the businessman hat of how this can be a product that anybody would want to sell and then anybody would want to buy, and which is why these days I don't design a game and pitch it to a publisher, but as soon as I have an idea that is viable, okay, I call the publisher, I double check with them if they would be interested for me to design it, then I design half of it, then I make them validate it, and then I finish it, and by the time it's playable, I'm a week away from the contract. So
okay, so you don't finish a game and then search for a pub. I mean,
very rarely.
Yeah, very rarely.
Every now and then I have some big passion project that is too weird, and then I go to 4 different publishers, and it's like, tell me what to change to make this marketable, but 8 out of 10 times I make this game for you, I make this game for you, and luckily my lovely publishers trust me to not create competition for myself, and so far it's been working great. My big epics, my theme-driven games go to Minecraft, my closed box Euros with mechanism-driven centers go to Board and Dice, my quirky ideas go to Mighty Boards, who've gotten better and better at building them out, and I hope to do many more projects with them in the future. I've recently established, well, the Imperium line went to Osprey, we've just gone to WizKids for Star Trek, and I have a few more that no games have come out yet, but I have a few more ongoing relations with different publishers for different kind of games that I want to make.
Okay, and when it comes to the team or some mechanics, how easy or hard it's making your job to create a solo rule or automa, or when you are designing your own games, do you prefer any of the mechanics that you are building in, or you are trying to change or make it interesting for you, the designing process? How does it look like?
I'll answer the solo one first because that's the easier. It doesn't matter at all.
Okay.
Creating a game that has a competitive Euro game that has a well-defined central player interaction can be turned into an automa following a bunch of straightforward steps that we've done a million times. So creating a solo mode gets tougher if the interaction is less defined, like it has a map with a million little reasons, etc., which sometimes comes from the theme, but not necessarily. If it has a theme where having an opponent comes naturally, that could make the solo mode better, because it's like you're fighting against the evil minister or, you know, something like that, but it never makes it harder.
Okay.
But since the designer already came up with the theme, or the publisher already came up with it, it's a finished game,
yes,
I just see what's the best I can make out of their sandbox. It comes to my game, that's completely different. That comes back to the age-old question of, do you do design theme first or mechanism first?
Yes.
And my answer to that is always that no, there is the theme, there is mechanism, and there's product, okay, and you do all 3. You come up with any one idea, which in Nucleum is build a network out of dominoes, yep, which in Voidfall is manage an empire and do it with deterministic combat, and which is not a mechanism, it's not a theme, it's a product concept.
Exactly.
So you start from one sentence, and what theme applies to that? What mechanism best represents that? Once you have that marriage, okay, then, okay, what are we doing? Who are we? Okay, we are this. What are we doing to win? What are the nouns of the things we're getting? What are the verbs of the actions and every step has to keep me making sense, because I'm working on very heavy games. If at any point it doesn't make sense, you're gonna forget a rule.
Okay.
So the standard of how, it sounds strange, but the more complicated the game, the simpler it has to be. So, which is why I think Voidfall is my when zoomed in is my simplest game, because it has to be baby smooth for you to be able to remember every little way it has. So, to me, keeping the theme, the mechanism, and the vision of the final product is the design process itself.
Okay. And for somebody who played so many games, created so many automa and solo rules, you're kind of a best play tester of all these games, because how does it look like when you are the designer? How can you give your own feedback, or do you have a team or people who you are actually getting
I'm very far from being a good playtester because I'm extremely opinionated. I know what I like, I know how I want to make things, but that doesn't mean that that's the only way.
Okay.
I always start all of my sentences with, this is not the truth written by God, but if you would change this, this would cause that. Is that something you would consider better? Okay. How do I do my own? I can see systems and changes in systems very easily. That's my special ability. So if somebody says, yeah, that action is not interesting and that objective doesn't score enough for me to tinker with, I can close my eyes and say, okay, I'll rewrite that should reward, blah, 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 and I know how all the options that you will see in the game propagate the changes. What I am terrible at is strategic planning.
Okay.
Which is what game breakers do. So my partner can beat me in every single competitive game. In my local game group, out of 4 people, if I can grab 3rd place, then I'm having a good week.
Okay.
If I'm 2nd, then one of them is probably sleeping. So those are the people I ask. That I've played with my chief playtester. I've played probably like 30 games of Captain's Chair, and other than the times that one of the decks were broken, I think I won once. So
okay.
because if the game has a problem that I could already notice, then I probably noticed that before the playtest.
Yeah.
The playtest is for other people to have the brain space to notice the things that I can't theorize. Sure, does it feel good things I can test on myself too. The age-old wisdom is, if it feels crap, make the designer suffer it so he'll believe it. Works, and if I suspect that this might not feel good, then I try it out, and if I hate it, I'll change it. But I don't trust myself to think about the system and winning and breaking the system all at the same time. That's what game breakers are for.
Okay.
And I am lucky to have many of those. Some of them do it engineeringly, some of them do it intuitively, and after they tripled my score, I asked them, why did you do it? Can you do it again exactly the same way? Or is the game diverse enough? Was this a lucky setup? Or did I play badly? And that informs where I want the game to end up. I trust Voidfall, I trust Tawantinsu, I trust Nucleum, because when those people beat the crap out of me, they beat it within reason.
Reason, yeah.
Whereas when we play other mechanically genius heavy Euros that aren't tested this way, and I play it with my friends and they quadruple my score, and then I call the designer, I ask them what's the highest score they ever recorded, and it's 100 points less than what we just did on our first play.
Oh.
Then it's like, yeah, that's why we do this. So...
Okay. It's an amazing thing. And one more question. Given the fact that you are in the engineering, right, and process, so that problem-solving mindset that you have.
Yes, I have an IT background.
So how much it helps to crack all these things that you mentioned before, or to, if you need to change something like that, okay, you are changing.
It's the IT background that helps. It's the same madness that helped me with the IT background that helps with this.
Okay, okay. And yes. David,
neurodiversity is a job requirement for what we do. So yes.
Okay, and for my last question, your upcoming titles that you can talk about, what you are excited about.
Captain's Chair has been my life for the past year or two, so that's the one that has been announced, is coming, and I'm beyond excited about. It's not a huge secret if I say that there will be more big box Euros like Nucleum coming in the future. Okay. The next one I'm pretty excited about. The one after that I still am very badly at work on, so that I'll be excited about once it works. But you know, many more to come. And there's a lot more things that I can't yet, or not confident enough yet to talk about.
Okay, so basically in parallel a lot of things are happening.
And more, and you know, gotta feed the little kid.
Yeah. Okay, David, thank you very much for the interview. Thanks.